It's 1979, and this is Louisville and Nashville territory in Cartersville, Georgia. Okay, it's actually 2024, so what is this thing doing here? Well, it's yet another unofficial heritage unit that's appeared on CSX rails in northwest Georgia. First, we saw the chassis, then the RF&P, and now L&N. This old reliable machine is an EMD GP38-2 built in 1973. And, believe it or not, it did actually once belong to the Louisville and Nashville. Like the other engines that received heritage colors, this looks like a professional paint job. Comparing CSX 2625 to this 1980 photo of another L&N Jeep, it looks like the artist matched the paint scheme pretty well. Of course, if you didn't know, this is not the first L&N heritage unit. CSX revealed the official locomotive in August of 2023. This one was painted by the company in Waycross, Georgia. But the railroad's attempt to preserve the past has faced criticism by some rail fans who are upset that the company only chose to paint part of the locomotive bodies in heritage colors. The first units to be painted featured a fade between the CSX paint scheme and the predecessor paint. Later CSX heritage units, like the one honoring the New York Central, don't have the fade. Now, if you see number 1850 honoring the L&N or any of the other heritage units head-on, they look like regular CSX engines. The front fourth of the locomotives are painted in standard CSX dark blue and yellow. But no matter what you think about the designs, it's clear a lot of thought and effort has gone into CSX's heritage units. And looking back at its history, I would say the L&N is deserving of a heritage unit, or two. In 1850, the Commonwealth of Kentucky chartered the railroad to be built between Louisville and Nashville. Like many major railroads of its time, it carried both freight and passengers. Amazingly, the railroad operated under the Louisville and Nashville name for 132 years. So after such a long history, what happened to the L&N? Well, it's a somewhat confusing tale of mergers, but here are the basics. In 1971, the L&N became a subsidiary of Seaboard Coastline. In 1982, SCL and the L&N merged, forming the Seaboard system. Shortly before that, in 1980, the Chessie system and Seaboard Coastline Industries merged, forming CSX Corporation. But CSX was just a railroad on paper until 1986, when the Seaboard system changed its name. A little bit more merging happened after that to form what we now call CSX. Fortunately, L&N history is still alive in the South. Impressive engineering, like the Hook and Eye line in Tennessee, which was once operated by the L&N, can still be enjoyed by tourists and motorcar enthusiasts. Many small and large railroad buildings also still remain. This one in Etowah, Tennessee, once housed a depot and division offices. It's now a museum. And outside is a classic bay window caboose. Meanwhile, in Nashville, cars are still being humped at the former L&N yard here, and Union Station still stands downtown. Back in Georgia, the L&N lives on with this unit. Well, at least until CSX repaints it. It's definitely eye-catching, but it also raises some questions. Is this vandalism, a tribute, or both? I'll let you decide.